This week's phrase of the week is Rhowch eich gwaith hibio, os gwelwch yn dda. It means put your work away, please.
Bore da everybody, welcome back to Monday morning, hope you're all well. We're going to start our Reach Assembly this morning, remembering that we're thinking about happy and healthy. So that's what we've covered so far. And I'm going to start this morning with a poem. It's called Bedtime Blues. It's the end of the day and it's time for bed. A time little Jasmine seemed to always dread. She'd make excuses to cause delay. She'd tried every trick to get her own way. Her mum and her dad would give her a warning. You'll be far too tired when you get up in the morning. Jasmine puffed, put her hands on her hips. She narrowed her eyes and pursed her lips. She stamped her feet, gave angry glares, and was dragged reluctantly up the stairs. A spell in the bath was much more fun, but tantrums began once this session was done. She'd start again to be stubborn once more. It always made bedtime a terrible chore. Poor mum or dad would read her a tale, but as soon as they'd finished, she'd start to wail. A kiss and a hug, then off went the light. Through the landing light shone for the rest of the night. Feeling they'd won and the evening was free, the grown-ups then settled to watch the TV. But soon, from the bedroom of a dear little daughter, came the voice crying out for a nice drink of water. They knew it was just to attract more attention, so they treated the matter with some apprehension. The programme they watched caused some distraction, which meant that they took no immediate action. A few minutes later came no sound at all. The moaning had stopped and so had the call. Because it was quiet, they went for a peep, to find little Jasmine had fallen asleep. Just take a moment to think about that poem. Does it remind you of somebody you know, or maybe a younger sibling? Or were you like that when you were younger? Just discuss around that and what you think today's assembly is about. Okay, all living things need rest and sleep. Young animals, babies, small children, they all need lots of sleep because they're doing a lot of growing and changing. When grown-ups and children alike have been awake all day working or playing, their bodies need mind and minds need rest. So today we're going to talk a little bit about sleep and a little bit about the sleep cycle, because we're going to try and understand why we sleep and why it's important to sleep. So just consider these 4 questions within your class for a moment. Why do we need sleep? What happens when we sleep? How much sleep do we need? And what happens if we don't get enough sleep? So why do we need sleep? So when we go to bed, our bodies just sleep and do nothing? That's not right. Actually, because we all have busy days and working hard at school, playing, lunchtime, after school activities and so much more, we use loads and loads of energy. So sleeping well at night just gets your body ready for the next action-packed day. So it allows your body to recharge and your muscles to rest and relax, ready for your next day of super work and action. When we sleep, there's a pattern to our sleep. It's known as the sleep cycle, and it goes through 5 stages. One full cycle can take around about 90 minutes, so about an hour and a half, and is repeated many, many times through the night. So we start in stage 1 with some light sleep, and then our body starts to relax, and then we move into stage 3, which is a deep sleep, followed by your brain slowing down, so steadying, and then we go into something that's called REM sleep. And then we'll go back into the stage 1, so that keeps going round and round in that cycle all through the night. So how much sleep do we need? And that really depends on your age. So you'll find newborn babies, they sleep quite a lot, particularly between 0 and 3 months. So they'll sleep around about 14 to 17 hours. Infants between 4 and 11 months then need about 12 to 15 hours, and toddlers between 1 and 2 years old will need about 11 to 14 hours. Children before they start school between 3 and 5 need about 10 to 13 hours. School children, so that's pretty much everybody who's watching this, need between 9 and 11 hours. And teenagers then need between 8 and 10 hours. So quite a lot of hours worth of sleep there. Now, if you don't get enough sleep, what sleep does is it helps you to boost your immune system, which helps you to fight off any illnesses. It can give you more energy the next day. It makes you happier. And it also helps your memory to be better. So it's really important that your brain rests so that your memory can work properly, and it will help you concentrate in school better. So lots and lots of reasons for us to get enough sleep. If we don't get that sleep, you can be a little bit irritable, impatient, you won't have the energy to do the things you need to do, and therefore won't enjoy the day so much. It can cause difficulty with concentrating, so then you're not going to learn as many new things, and it makes remembering things much more difficult. So absolutely vital for you to get enough sleep to be able to function and do what you need to do every day. Here's a few things that you can do to help you to improve your sleep. If you just pause this and have a little read through that list together in your class and talk about that and whether you do those things or don't do those things. So are you getting enough sleep is the key question. So just consider the things that we thought about in the last slide. Are you able to do all those things? Do you think you're getting the hours that we talked about? Just reflect a moment on, if you're not, what can you do to make that better? And if you are, how can you continue to keep sleeping well? Gweddiwn. Diolch I ti am ei byd. Diolch am ein ffrindiau I gyd. Amen. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening again. Hopefully I've given you something else to think about this week that can help you to stay happy and healthy. I am going to play a video at the end of this clip. It probably, for the teachers, is more appropriate for slightly older children. So if you're in a younger class, you may not want to watch this, or you may want to watch it. Completely up to you. Apart from that, have a lovely week, and I look forward to seeing everybody around this week. Dabor chi.
Ever wondered why you have to go to sleep?
Ever heard someone snore so loudly the room rumbles?
We're about to tell you why.
This is a case for Investigation Ouch.
You spend a third of your life doing absolutely nothing.
I'd hardly call picking my nose nothing.
I'm not talking about your disgusting personal habits. I'm talking about sleep. All animals do it, including us, and it's essential for life. So to find out more about it, we're going to bed.
To discover what happens when we sleep, we're spending the night in this special sleep clinic. Monitoring us will be sleep expert Dr. Wahab Dehamet.
So sleep is not just sleep. There are different types of sleep.
Absolutely.
And some of the types of sleep relax your brain and recharge that, and other types of sleep recharge your body.
Basically, yes. And that's why we need sleep.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Zand.
It's time for us to go to sleep. Dr. Waheb sets the computers up to record the night ahead, and I'm hoping this will prove once and for all that Zand snores. He's always denied it. Mr. Grumbles knows I never snore.
No, Mr. Grumbles.
Next morning, and it's time to get up.
Other people say I snore, but I really maintain that I don't. I think they're all liars.
All will be revealed shortly, Zand. I didn't sleep very well at all. We're both looking a bit weary. Oh dear. Let's find out why we're both so tired.
Chris, this line here, that's for when you were awake, and then here you slept, that's different sleep staging, and then here you were awake, and then you slept again, and then you were awake.
So in terms of a good night's sleep, I only had, 2.5 hours? Although I was in bed for 6 hours, I only was actually asleep for 2.5, and that is just not enough. And not only does my body feel very tired, my brain feels really thick-headed and unrested as well.
So how did mine compare to Chris's?
You had more sleep,
And how long did I sleep?
4.5 hours.
So I got twice as much sleep as you.
But even 4 hours sleep isn't enough for your body to rest, especially when you're young. Children need at least 8 hours because you're still growing and your body needs to work harder. Chris and I are adults and we can get away with less, but it still makes us feel very tired.
What about dreaming? How do we compare on that?
Well, Chris, I don't think you had a dream at all. Xand, you had 2.
Although I had a full sleep cycle, it was pretty restless and I just didn't dream, which can happen sometimes. But look at this section of the graph. I had lots of rapid eye movements, and this suggests that I was dreaming.
How long were the dreams? They
Well-
short dreams or?
One of them is half an hour, was half an hour.
Really?
Yes.
Half an hour of dreaming? What about snoring?
You did snore, Xand.
I did?
Yeah.
Okay, Zand, there's the proof. You do snore. Oh dear.
How much of the time was I snoring?
7% of the night.
Not everyone snores like me, but people who do snore can't move air freely through their nose or mouth during sleep. So the air vibrates against the relaxed muscles in their throat and nose, and that's what makes that snoring sound.
You sleep for a third of your life, but you're not doing nothing while that's going on. You're recharging your brain and you're recharging your body. So if you don't get enough sleep, that's going to affect everything you do, and you'll feel absolutely rubbish.